Hello everybody, my name is Jay. I'm one of the expert teachers here at E2 School. Let's review phrasal verbs. Words like look up or take off. So here's a phrasal verb in a sentence. Sylvia will look up the information. Here's another one, Willie must take off his shoes. And here's another one, Joe got over his cold. So a phrasal verb is a verb plus a preposition, right? But we don't think about them like verbs and prepositions. We think about them just as phrasal verbs, almost like a new verb. You have 10 seconds to read this list. Okay, so in this lesson, you will learn the meaning of some common phrasal verbs, as well as how phrasal verbs are made. We'll look at together versus split phrasal verbs, and how to change the verb to show when. Finally, we'll look at the 3 sentence types, positive, negative with the not, and question sentence forms as well. Let's look firstly at the meaning. So, the important thing to know here is that if you have a verb by itself, it has a specific meaning. But if you add a preposition to a verb, it creates a different meaning. Let's look at some examples here. So if I say look, well, that means see, right? I looked at the picture. But if I say look after, and I add the preposition, it means something completely different. It means to take care of. Or if I say turn, it means to change direction. But if I say turn off, it means to stop, like turn off the computer. If I say get, it means to receive something. So I got some money, for example. But if I say get over, it means to feel better, like I got over my cold. It creates an entirely new meaning by adding the preposition. Let's do activity 1. If you're on e2school.com, you can do this activity on the computer, which is totally cool. If you're on YouTube, you just have to think about it. Or you can sign up to E2 School and do it on the computer, which is totally cool. Okay, I want you to choose the best phrasal verb for these 3 sentences. Okie dokie, here are the answers. So A, Summer needs to turn off the computer. Willie takes medicine to get over his cold. And Sylvia and Joe look after the children. Cool. Let's look at how phrasal verbs are used in sentences. But first, let's look at how we combine a verb and a preposition to make a phrasal verb. So we take any verb plus any preposition, and if you get the combination right, you can create an entirely new verb like look after, turn off, or get over. In a sentence, this is how it works. You have a subject like I or Willie or Joe. Then you have the phrasal verb, looked after, turned off, got over. And then you have an object, Rocky, the TV, a cold, to make sentences like I looked after Rocky, Willie turned off the TV, Joe got over a cold. So in effect, it's just subject, verb, object, because the phrasal verb almost disappears into the main verb. Let's do activity 2 on e2school.com. What I want you to do is to highlight the subject, the verb, the preposition, the phrasal verb, and the object. All right, here are the answers. So the subject is summer, the verb is found, the preposition is out, the phrasal verb is found out, and the object is the answer. Summer found out the answer. Cool bananas. Let's look at form 1, when the verb and the preposition must come together. So some phrasal verbs must come together. So Joe looked for his keys and Summer hung out with her friend. So form 2 is you cannot split them. So you cannot split look for example. I cannot say Joe looked his keys for, or Summer hung with her friend out. This is incorrect. It just doesn't work, right? But form 3, some phrasal verbs can be split. For example, Willie gave away the secret, or Willie gave the secret away. Here we have the phrasal verb together, and here we have split the phrasal verb and we have put the object of the sentence. Let me just spell this out for you here. We have subject, we have verb, object, then we have preposition here. Okay? Here we just have subject, verb, object. So we've split this one like this. Let's look at another example of a split phrasal verb. Summer handed in her essay. Summer handed her essay in. Some phrasal verbs sound much more natural when you split them. For example, if I was speaking, I would say Summer handed her essay in, not Summer handed in her essay. It depends, I guess, but some phrasal verbs are very commonly split and some cannot be split. Okay? Cool, so together and split. Let's do activity 3 on e2school.com. I want you to look at these sentences and decide, is the phrasal verb together or is it split? Okay, let's take a look at the answers here. So A, Summer looks after Rocky. This is together. B, Willie turned the music down. This is split. C, Sylvia put her glasses on. This is split. You can see the object between the verb and the preposition. And D, Joe's car broke down. That's together. That's what I was supposed to say there. That's together. Let's look at form 4 and time. So we need to change the verb part of the phrasal verb to show when something happened, is happening, or will happen. So in A, Summer cleaned up her room. The verb is clean, and we've changed the verb to cleaned with ed to show that it's in the past. And with B, Summer is cleaning up her room. We've changed the cleaning part to is cleaning to show the present moment. And for C, we've added will to the main verb, will clean up, to show the future. So it's the verb that changes to show when. Let's do activity 4 on e2school.com. I want you to choose when. Is A past, present, or future, for example? Okay, how did you go looking at these and understanding the time? So A is a past verb because we have got, not get. B is a future verb, will, get along. And C is a present verb, is getting along with Rocky. Cool bananas. Let's look at positive, negative, and question sentence types. So to form a positive sentence or just a usual sentence, we just have the phrasal verb look up. I look up new words daily, for example. To form a negative or a not sentence, we add the do not or the don't at the beginning of the phrasal verb. So you do not look up new words or you don't look up new words. And the reason why I've put don't there with the contracted form is because phrasal verbs are usually spoken, not written. So they're a part of informal English, okay? They're used in conversation or semi-formal English as well. Just when you're writing an essay or a report or something like that, or if you're reading the newspaper, you won't find many phrasal verbs. You'll use the main alternative form of the verb, okay? Cool. So what about question forms? Well, do they look up new words? So you can see the phrasal verb look up functions just like a main verb. But you need to be careful because they follow the same rules as the other verbs. So for example, Willie looks up new words. You must add the S on the end of look for those present simple verbs, for example. Sylvia doesn't look up new words. So not do not, doesn't look up new words. And for questions, does Joe look up new words? So they follow the same conventions and rules for all the other verbs. Let's do activity 5 on e2school.com. What I want you to do is to use the phrasal verb turned off in the past in these sentences. You have 30 seconds to make a positive, negative, and question sentence. Okie dokie, let's take a look at the answers. So I turned off the TV. Sylvia didn't turn off the TV. Did Joe turn off the TV? They are the answers there. If you could have written did not turn off the TV, it would also be correct. Okay, so what did we learn in this lesson? We learned the meaning of some common phrasal verbs, and we learned that when you have a main verb, it means one thing, and you add a preposition to it, and all of a sudden it means something completely different, right? We also learned how phrasal verbs are made. We looked at together versus split phrasal verbs. We learned how to change the verb to show when. And finally, we looked at the 3 sentence types. The related lessons which you might be interested in and which I suggest you sign up to E2 School for include Level 3, where you will learn to use phrases with prepositions, Level 4, where you will learn to use separated phrasal verbs, and also in Level 4, you will learn to use phrasal verbs in questions, and there are many, many more. If you're on YouTube watching this, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit like, leave a comment, and share. Feel free to write a phrasal verb sentence into the comments below. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.